Hello everyone and welcome to another Rise of Kingdoms video. This is Dragothian here, and today we're going to be continuing our Commander Ranker series, specifically the legendary version of it. We are going to do an epic flavor of this too, all the way through, but this is the third part of the Garrison edition because again, you've got to break down in Garrison role how it's being used. You can't use the same garrisons for one particular thing as you do for another. This particular edition is going to be for your normal gameplay, your open field, you're in the regular kingdom, you're in KvK. These are the commanders that you want to use to hold passes, flags, forts in the open field, that kind of thing, because this is what's going to cause you dead whenever you take damage in these moments. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're using these whenever you're doing the normal gameplay and KvK Garrison. We're going to go through them really quickly as well. It should be fairly close to City, however, there are some very distinct differences that I want you guys to take into account, and we're going to go right through them right now. So again, Alex, again, to me, is a fail. I think we've established that over the series. Leonidas is a better, because his skills do lend toward, well, they're good because a couple of his skills don't go on the map, but they do work some in the flags, so I will put him as a good but not better. Charles is a best because he's part of the tandem that really takes out Attila Takeda very effectively, and also very tanky, does not cause more dead, in fact reduces the amount of dead, so that's very, very good. Guan, I'm going to put him as a good as well. I have done a little bit of initial testing on him in Garrison, and if you have the right troop count, he does very, very well, even without the Garrison tree, but still not quite as tanky as we like to have in the open field. We want to reduce the amount of dead as much as possible when we're in the open field. Richard, again, does the exact opposite of that. He brings back troops to die. You don't want him in the open field or in KvK. In your garrison, you're going to be killing yourself more than you should be. There's a reason why the defenders have the advantage. You get a reduced amount of dead versus your attackers, and when you put Richard in that garrison, you're eliminating or partially eliminating that advantage. You don't want to do it. Constantine's going to be a best. Again, big. This is the tandem that takes out Attila Takeda. If you properly reinforce it, Constantine primary, Charles secondary, Charles primary, Constantine secondary. They both work really, really well. Charlemagne, fail. You don't want to have him in a garrison. That's not what he's for. Freddy can be in the good category as a secondary, but again, not really meant to be a garrison commander, right? I mean, he's meant to be an open field commander to bring extra troops with his fourth skill. He's got one of the more powerful nukes in the game, which is why he's in the good category and not the fail category. But his skills lend more towards rallying and open field. Julius. Oh. I'm going to put him in the good category. He's in between because his first skill does do very well. Also his third skill, I think it is. It's his second or third skill that does the reduction to damage taken as well. This also is not too bad as a secondary. You don't want him as a primary, but as a secondary it's not too bad, especially to a Charles or something like that. It's not the end of the world. I would prefer you to have one of these two commanders so far that we've gone through. Wu, in the best category, again, very, very solid, very, very versatile, and can actually be a second to Charles against Attila Takeda. Not as good as Constantine, but still really, really good. Ethelfled, in the good category, again, as a second, in a pinch, can be done. Really borderline fail. She's not meant to do this purpose, but she can be used in a pinch to do that. If you have all your armies out on the map and that's all you've got left, she can be good as a second in a garrison in the open field because she debuffs the targets, she has an AoE, and if you have mixed troops, she has extra damage, which all structures, well, can have, depends on what your situation is. Mekka Med, again, same principle as Freddy. Good as a secondary, his AoE is okay, but most of his stuff is geared towards city rallies, so he can be used as a second, but really try not to. Barca, he's basically, with this purpose, he's a reduced effectiveness Ethelfled. So, I mean, to me, again, fail. I mean, there's just no benefit to him in a garrison whatsoever. Ramses. I'd put him in a better column. Put him in a better column because you can pair him up with YSG as a secondary, and he can do some work, and he has quite a bit of tankiness. But again, by default, there's a lot of Cav rallies out there, and having a fully archer-based garrison can be a little problematic when it comes to having some tankiness. But for the most part, Ramses does have quite a few tankiness skills with some defense buffs. He's got healing reduction capabilities. He basically is an anti-Richard and Saladin Takeda combined. So he does do a lot of work in that regard. So I'm going to put him in the better category. He's going to be our first better commander, which is odd, actually, if you think about it. Artemisia. I've taken a step back with Artemisia. I think that she can be in the best category, however, because she can take out Attila Takeda, but she can be swarmed down really, really hard. And again, like I said, if you pair her with Wu, that'll help a little bit because Wu's skills are a little bit of an anti-swarm type of capability. But if you don't pair her with Wu, then you're going to be really susceptible to being swarmed. So I'm going to put her in the better category too. You want her as a primary. Again, she can be in the best category. I do believe I put her in the best category in almost all of the Garrison videos. But I'm going to go ahead and put her in the better category because I think after some more testing, Rally plus Swarm, which does happen in KvK and in the open field, Artemisia is a little more susceptible to losing that structure versus, say, a Charles Constantine or something in that regard. YSG, this is definitely a best. This guy has racked up so many kills in KvK because you are going to be hitting not only the rally that's hitting you, but also everything around you up to 5 targets. And all of those hits that YSG hits are dead troops, free dead troops. So YSG is definitely the heaviest death-dealing commander in the game in open field Garrison because he just rains literal death upon your troops if you are not careful. Whenever you're rallying something that has YSG in it, you need to put a marker on that target that says YSG in the flag, stay the F back. That's what you need to do. Edward, that's a fail. Again, he's meant for open field and rally, mostly rally. So there's really no reason to have him in a garrison. His rage takes a long time to generate. He's got a high rage requirement as well. It's not good for a garrison in the open field. Tamiris, I'll put her in the good category. Again, I think she's not meant for this purpose, but she does have a role as a secondary if you are in a pinch. She has to have that 4th skill maxed at least. 1st and 4th skills need to be maxed on Tamiris for this to actually be even in the good category. Otherwise, she should also be in the fail category. El Cid, I'm going to put him in the better category, excuse me, because he can not only disable the rally that's coming in and reducing the amount of skills that rally's firing off, which is really good, but also he also has a damage modifier on his 4th skill once you hit 50% health. And that actually is a huge boost when you've got millions of troops at your disposal in the open field and reinforcements and things like that. So once that initial health meter goes below 50%, if El Cid is in that flag, that's a 25% damage boost if he's maxed. So he's definitely worthwhile to have into the flag. In fact, in KvK 1 and even in KvK Season 2, El Cid, YSG was actually one of the best pairings in a structure in KvK because of that bonus. You got 50% skill damage bonus from YSG, and then you had that extra 25% with disabling and attack bonuses from El Cid. It all stacked up really, really nicely together. There's just better stuff out now because the commander selection is a little bit more open, but El Cid's definitely in the better category in my opinion. All right, open field. I'm sorry, KvK Garrison. Cons next. In a full cav flag or pass. I'm deciding between good and better for con. I'm going to go with better. I think that he still does a lot of work there. He doesn't need to be primary, but you need to have full cav. So if you've got Saladin as primary, and then Genghis secondary, or if you've got Pelagius primary with the Garrison tree and Khan secondary, that's not the worst in the world. And see, when I describe it like that, I kind of want to move him back down. I'm going to move him back down to good, because he's just not meant for this purpose. He's just not meant for this purpose. He can be used in a pinch, and when he does, he's okay. But you just have to have too many things going your way to make Khan make sense in a garrison structure. So I'm going to move him back down to good. I wanted to put him in better. I did. He's that good of a commander, but I just can't do it. This is a KvK Garrison video. That's not what he's meant for. Same thing with Minna. He can be used as a secondary. Don't put him in a flag as a primary, and don't expect great results. Same thing with Double C. He's in the good category, not a great category. He has a defense reduction for you, expertise, so that is also hurtful. However, he does have a really solid nuke and attack bonuses for Cav, so it's not the end of the world. Saladin, I'm going to put him in the better category. Maybe I'll put him in the best category. I'm actually going to put him in the best category, because he also is an anti-Attila Takeda. And again, if you are in Seasons 3 or 4 of KvK, you're going to be running into quite a bit of Attila Takeda rallies. So Saladin Takeda is a rally defeater of Attila Takeda. That's a good garrison combo to beat that. And Saladin's very good as a secondary as well to woo. If you want to do woo Saladin, that's one of the best anti-skill damage garrisons in the game. So yeah, absolutely, he's in the best category, hands down. I hate to do this. I hate to do it, but Attila is in the best category, and I have to also snag Takeda up there as well. They both, I mean, all three of these commanders really synergize together to do all the roles in the game, which is kind of an indictment on how powerful these three commanders are. Saladin Takeda, Attila Takeda cause devastation and destruction. They just do. And if you have them in the garrison for your KvK, and you're getting an Attila Takeda rally, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay, because they counter each other. If you have Attila Takeda rally coming in, and you have Attila Takeda in your garrison, and you got full cav, you're in great shape. And then Saladin Takeda, same thing. You know, you can do any of those combos, and they work really, really well together against most things. And honestly, Attila Takeda against most other rallies, if you've got full cav and you reinforce properly, will work better than a regular garrison commander. So they're in the best category. They have to be. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. All right, and then finally we start to get to the gathering commanders here. Cleo, fail. Sundiak, fail. Ishida, fail. Mop guy. And that's it. Now, something to think about before I wrap this up. And this is one of the shorter ones, because it should be pretty close to the city garrison model, but there's a few subtle differences. Things to keep in mind when you're doing garrison in KvK and open field. You don't want heal, which is why Richard is on the fail column. I know people don't like that, but that's just the way it is. Alex on the fail column, I feel like I have to explain that every time. Second and third skills do not work in garrison, so really you're only bringing 2 skills to the map, which is basically a shield, a small damage debuff for a small amount of time, and or a small damage reduction, damage increase to the armies around them for a small amount of time, and you know, an attack buff. So you've got a shield and an attack buff. That's it in the garrison. When you've got commanders like these, even the better ones, even the good ones that do more. I mean, even Julius, most of his skills apply to a garrison. 3 out of the 4 skills apply to a garrison. You know, Guan Yu, same thing. All of his skills apply to a garrison. That's why he's in the good and not fail. Something to think about if you're struggling to get some troops inside garrisons and you got plenty of siege. Think about using, you know, Sundiak. Unfortunately, Sundiak and Cleo. Look at their damages and defense with siege. And there's siege gear out there, guys, just to think about. You know, these two commanders in a structure and in a pinch where you don't want to lose a bunch of troops and you still want to cause a decent amount of damage. These two commanders, or you know, Sundiak and like one of like YSG or something, that'll work. I mean, it's not going to be the best, but it'll work. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. We're going to continue this series again, and then we're going to get to the epic flavor as well. There's one more legendary commander series for this I want to do. And then after that one's done, we're going to jump over to the epic version and do all of these all over again, but with the epic commanders. I hope you guys are looking forward to that, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next time. Cheers. Take care.